A little juice in your life. Call me when that big old house gets lonely fight. My people's my
All right, hit us with the intro, G.
What up, my peoples, my mother peoples. Welcome back to another episode of yours truly, Quality Minutes episode. What is it? 4? Quality Minutes podcast. What, 4 or 5 now?
Number five. We're gonna
turn down.
Yeah, we're gonna turn down Andre 3 Stacks real quick.
Shout out to 3 Stacks.
Shout out to 3 Stacks. We had some
Give a shout out to 3
about
Stacks
3
one
Stacks
time,
last time.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stacks, man.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Like I say, welcome back to the Quality Minutes podcast. We have a very special guest this weekend. Known this gentleman for a long time. Very, very, very good dude. Like I say, everything we do, he brings positive energy. He's always been positive. One of the best producers in the game right now. If you haven't heard, please tap in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have my brother from another, Sean Prolyphic Thomas.
Okay. Give it up to him. My introduction to Sean was, I think we might have been at Greg's house. I don't know where we was at, but this vet pulled up. This Corvette pulled up. I'm like, who's my man in the vet? You know what I'm saying? Because we was driving like, just whatever we had, fam. Like I had the Cavalier, you had the what you had, Greg? You had
Pontiac Sunbird, bro.
The Sunbird.
Right. And then the Sunbird, bro.
And this vet pulled up, and this Kevin Garnett-esque frame stepped out. I'm like, who is my man? Like, that's my dog.
It didn't match
at all, bro.
I was too big for it. We all knew it, but
this guy was like 7'2".
Yeah,
but in a coupe though, riding that boy though.
Yeah, he was. Right. But no, I just wanted to say that before you jumped into it, man. But we appreciate having you today, man.
Definitely, man.
I appreciate y'all.
Definitely a pleasure, man.
It's an honor for sure to even be sitting here talking to y'all about something completely different than what I'm sure we talked about at that point when I pulled up in the vet.
Hey, right. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing that day, but
nonsense,
going on
shenanigans, tomfoolery.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, that's what's up, man. But here during the podcast, what we do is we do a check-in for the week. And so how was your week, man? How's everything been going for you this week, brother?
This week it's kind of rough, man. Not anything seriously. It's just that coming off the holiday is always a hard time for me, COVID or not. You know what I mean? Just the environment and the vibe of being with your people for the holiday weekend. And,
oh yeah, man.
And you come to the close, whether it's people, got to fly back or drive back to their respective homes in different states and stuff like that. It's just always like such a downer for me, if I'm being honest. But so it's like you get this amazing high with your people, and then it's like, everybody got to go back to their regularly scheduled programs.
Right.
And this holiday season was a little weird, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not to be able to have those family junctures and y'all just sit there. I miss it. My drunk cousins and stuff act the fool together. I miss that.
So how did y'all do the holidays this year?
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See me,
Go ahead.
I masked up. I went. I love Thanksgiving first and foremost. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Thanksgiving, because I call that freeload season.
Oh yeah,
you give the green light to freeload. So I have a few houses that's always on my list. You know what I'm saying? I check them twice, like Santa Claus do, and I pulled up, knocked on doors, got my plates, air hugged. I was good for a few days, man. Shout out to the Thanksgiving leftovers.
Fam, are you a Thanksgiving trick or treater? Is that what you?
That might be. I like it. That's my new term. I like that, bro. I think I am. I love Thanksgiving, bro. I don't care because I have a route that I take every year because I live in the West, so I openly go to the East Side on Thanksgiving. Shout out to the East Side on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm glad you made it through that journey too, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you made it back.
I think they know how to behave on the East Side when food is involved, though. They can eat good over there because some good cooking on the East Side, bro. And it's like a marathon, dog. I start at my house and just take a trip all the way around the city, man, and come home loaded, man. Like the Grinch who stole Christmas.
Did you map it out beforehand? Like
it's all mentally now. I already did that.
Okay.
I've been doing it so long.
You got a routine.
Right. And I start my day late. I feel like every holiday, the people who work hard can get up any goddamn time they feel like it. Like I don't have to get up early on a holiday.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get mad at people who try to tell you to get up and move. Like, man, you know what today is?
Nah.
They're not even delivering mail. You want me to get up early? No.
You getting up like you used to get up back in high school, college days. 1 p.m. something crazy like that.
Damn,
some super sleep in. But traditionally though, I don't know how y'all would do it, but usually that Wednesday night usually be like the bar hopping night.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. Usually
one of the biggest.
Yeah. And you would usually do so much to where you can't get out to bed.
That is true.
The night before until afternoon or whatever. But this year we didn't have that, and we didn't have the
family get-togethers.
Wherever the hell we wanted to. So it was a little different. But
because I know like the elders in my family, they're not playing it at all. Like you can't even come probably 60 steps from the porch. Just leave it there. They go have a stick come out the house and just pick it up.
Your plates on the porch.
Right.
For real, man.
Yeah, nah,
prisons.
Right. We did Zoom too, man. So Thanksgiving Day, all the family is on the Zoom. My favorite part about the family on the Zoom is, everybody trying to figure out how to turn the mic on and off. Cheryl, your mic's off, Cheryl.
Yeah, why are you talking so loud? Turn on your camera. Turn your camera on.
We can't hear you.
Like, Mom, you got to push the camera thing. Unmute yourself. Or she get to talking. You be just rambling. You can't hear a word.
Right. Like it's up your nose now. Like, chill out.
Uncle, you gotta back up, Unc. Yeah, nah.
Hey man, y'all silly as hell, man. But hey, man, like I said, man, I'm glad to have you on, man.
For sure.
You have a very, very interesting story that I think that the people will love and they really need to hear, man. Tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do, man.
Yeah, so present day, we are basically full-time in the sync licensing business when it comes to music and music production, song production. Like I'm not never say never, but I'm not in the business of trying to produce artists and release albums and things like that no more, or getting the actual track or instrumental placed on somebody's album. Like that's cool, and that's usually where the big money is, if I'm being honest with you. But that's not where my business is. I'm solely trying to insert and plant myself in the film and television industry primarily. Then as a branch off of that, the gaming industry and anywhere that you hear music aside from going to a streaming service or something.
Right.
Which is fine to do. I mean, if opportunity presents itself, I'm not gonna say, no, that ain't what I do. Never do that. But that's not the focus at this point anymore. At least for the last, I'll say at least for like the last 5 years, I'll say.
Sheesh, man. Name a couple of. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Speed.
No, I was gonna ask, like, so how'd you get into music production? How long have you been in the music production, and how'd you get into it?
Yeah, so it's one of those things where I always knew that I should have been doing it, but things, I guess you get steered in different directions, especially as a young man, when you don't really even know what it is that you want to do in life, period. So
That's
not
true.
to make a story super long, but okay, so you come from, when I was real young, before I had the growth spurt. That should indicate where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because that had to be when you was like 2.
when I was real young, I just had an affinity for music and stuff like that, and not necessarily like, at one point we all wanted to be like a rapper or singer or something like that because it just was the hot thing to do. But then once I got a little bit older, and I started having my own musical taste aside from what my parents were listening to, then my mom would, she would buy me at the time cassette tapes. We would go.
Shout out to Mom Dukes. Mom Dukes.
We would go to Sam Goody, and she would let me pick out a tape or two based on my taste, and I would get those.
Sam Goody. Oh man,
right?
Sam Goody.
Whoa. So I would get those, and then I would read the credits like, oh, okay, like we all know the person on the front of the tape. We know that person. We know that's Whitney Houston. We know that's whoever, Tony Braxton, whatever. Who are all these people that we don't know of? Because I know she's not sitting down making it sound like this.
That's true.
Her
that
voice.
is true.
So I'm looking at credits and things like that, and that was always where my mind was. Then the growth spurt hit, and as y'all probably know, you can't walk the halls of any middle school, high school, my height, and say you're not gonna play basketball.
Oh yeah, because if you didn't, man, I wouldn't have been your friend. You know,
beat up. You're gonna
be black,
beat up,
and be black.
right. You're gonna get beat up.
No way.
Talked about, teased to no end, or whatever. So it's just like I fell into that. Like all my guys, all my friends, they had been playing ball forever and ever. I didn't really start playing basketball until about sixth grade, seventh grade.
Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this man is 6'8", 6'9" now. Oh, you 6'7"? Yeah. Okay. Just to let him know he's kind of tall.
It took me that long to even start playing. I was damn near 12 or probably 12 when I started playing, and that was solely based on my size. I can't even say I ever really liked or loved doing it, and I realized how much I didn't love doing it when we got to high school.
Oh my God, bro!
I saw how people loved. I saw how people lived it, eat, slept it. Like I was like, man, all right, it's cool to do, but.
That's how he was.
Y'all tripping, man. Y'all like doing all this, like y'all sleeping with the basketball up under your arm, literally in the bed. Like, you know somebody.
Yeah, loving basketballers out there for sure. Hey, man, side story, man, because he used to irritate us so bad in school. Like, you know, in the basketball game, be so hyped. You know, the tallest person on the court. He got the open lane. This type of guy go up. But look like he just about to yoke it and then just lay it up.
Give you the George Gervin. Oh man.
Yeah, I honestly just thought that was funny to do.
It was hilarious. The crowd was so mad.
I just thought it was funny to do. Like, yeah, you know, get you all excited and then
but the yoke it and then he just
kind of let you down. Like,
and me as a person who is vertically challenged, I felt real disrespected when you did.
Well, I mean, you know, that was for you. That was for people like you who, you know, you came to see his show, and you know, in my head, I was just battling with the fact that, all right, man, this is cool to do, but let me find a game within the game. Let me try to just be funny out here. You know what I mean? And that contributed to the fact that I didn't really go far.
See, you know what? That with great power comes great responsibility. Man, you know what I would have done to be able to dunk. Like
I swear to God, I've been telling him that for years.
Greg, I don't know if this was you, Greg, but you know, we about the same height, 5'7", give or take. And you know,
give or take.
Our move was you go to the gym and try to touch the rim.
Try to
grab the nets and pull yourself up. That's where I was at.
Try to grab that joint with two hands. You really doing it.
Or you try to smack board off the layup. Like,
oh my God, I couldn't even hit the board. I couldn't get that high.
Oh man. You was
have somebody like, hey man, and he did not.
Yeah, in hindsight, sometimes I think about it like, why wouldn't I have pushed it further? But then also, not to blame anybody else outside of myself, because completely it's my responsibility. But I was never just judging how I was coached and dealt with the adults that actually do the game and was, you know, helping us along the way. Mm-hmm. Nobody really was preparing me for the next level. They weren't.
I can agree with that.
But not because they didn't know, but because it just wasn't something that they could foresee. Like, I've been this same size that I am, 37 years old now. I've been this same height since I was 18. I would have been a 2 or 3, a shooting guard, small forward in the NBA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My entire time in high school, they've stuck me down in the block.
That is absolutely right.
The game don't translate. That game does not translate to the next level. And then when I did go to college and I did actually make the squad, we got 2 7-footers, we got a 6'9" and a 6'8".
Oh, you the little man on campus. Wow.
Have I ever brought the ball up the court?
Never.
No.
Wow. Okay. That's wow.
So now I ain't even got the skill set to even survive in this environment that I'm in now, which is Division II NCAA. So I ain't gonna lie. This is the crazy way things work. I thought about quitting. I was like, I ain't even built for this. I ain't even about to try this no more because I ain't want to do it in the first place. And I wasn't on no scholarship. So it's like I'm paying tuition to go to this school to then still have dedicate all this time to basketball. Thought about quitting. Crazy thing about it was the coach that brought me in ended up getting fired. All his recruits had to try out again. I said, bet, that's my ticket out.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, that's a green light to get up out of there.
So it was an easy route for me to just let it go.
Where'd you attend college?
This was Tennessee State University down there.
Shout out to Tennessee State, man.
All right. HBCU, stand up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that goes to show you, like, if you're not, making moves that's aligned to your purpose or which you have a passion about, like, you're gonna lose interest and you're not gonna do it to, you're gonna find a way out. You know what I mean? And so that goes to show. But also, like, it seems like you were pressured to do it because of your frame, because you were tall and people felt like you should have, so you just end up playing basketball because,
it's a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure, man.
I wasn't upset about it at all, and I never complained about it. It wasn't that deep either, and the pressure didn't even come from in the household either. Like,
right, for sure.
My parents didn't care if I did that or did something else, as long as it was something that was positive and productive. So I could have, again, we talked about drum lessons all the way up until I had this growth spurt, and then I just went out the window. So coming full circle, I still can't play drums, but essentially coming full circle, here we are.
Yeah,
back to what I was trying to get into doing before.
Back to your path, man. That's what's up, man.
Hey, y'all, listen, for all my listeners, please, if you see a tall black man, please don't pressure him to play basketball. It's not necessary.
Please.
It's so not necessary. This ain't just about Sean. This is about all black dudes who are 6 feet and above. Like,
every black necessary. Tall man is not a receiver. Okay.
Right.
He is not a receiver.
And don't ask him if he is a receiver or.
Please don't stereotype these men.
Because everybody ain't me. I'm cool with it because I know I'm smart enough to know that they don't mean no harm by it. But some people ain't as nice as I am when it comes to that. Some people.
And I think it's talking to me too, because if I see somebody who's like 6'8", 270 pounds walking around, and you're just like a bagger at Kroger or something, like, if you don't get your big ass out, you know what they paying people on the Lions to play? They trash. They just need your size.
Practice squad or something.
Just get a check. That's what I be saying. Just try to get a check. Because sheesh. But that was an interesting story, how they tried to put you at guard, because I did wonder, like, why you just gave it up? But that makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah. I mean, I was away from everybody at that point. We didn't have social media like we do now. So you had to see me to even have this conversation with me back in 2001, 2002. So
shout out to the old ones.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So you at Tennessee State, they asked all y'all to retry out again. You had your out, and then what was next for you?
Yeah, so the next thing from there was trying to figure out exactly, because again, I wasn't around anybody that was doing what I'm doing, so I was trying to figure out what actually do you need to buy to make music like these people on these CDs that I like to, I like these songs that I like. Like, what's the gear? Like, please put me on. So I'm in Nashville. I'm in the music capital of the world, or not the world, I guess America at least. So they say, Music City. Mm-hmm. And there's all kinds of recording studios. Everything down there was mainly catered to country music, but it's all one and the same. I mean, it's the same instrument. They're the same keys. They're just played in a different way depending upon the genre that you're dealing with. So at that point, I went to it used to be, it may still be down there. It was Sam Ash. It's basically a Guitar Center, but they don't have them up. They don't have Sam Ash up here in Michigan. And so I went to Sam Ash, and we just used to go there like every other week, broke as hell, no money, and just play around with the gear. Until we got to the point where we got our little jobs working at the mall or working at the fast food spot, and then saved up a couple dollars, and 3 of us went in on some equipment. And it really wasn't nothing really high end, but it was basically just a little starter kit. It was like 2 mics, a mixer.
What type of mixer?
I don't know. I think it was like Newmark or something like that. I can't even tell you. And it was a software program that came along with it to where you could record your vocals and stuff like that. So it was like, all right, bet we good. And then my roommate at the time, This is my second year. My first year was the basketball stuff. I wasn't even doing none of what we talking about. This is the second year.
They're trying to be a guard.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to find my way at this point. Sophomore year, my roommate told me about a software program where you can make beats, and everybody in the dorms was doing it. And I think we all know at the
Fruity
time.
Loops.
Exactly,
I was about to say, shout out to Fruity Loops. Everybody was a producer.
Everybody was a producer. Everybody was Manny Fresh.
It was 6 floors in the dorm. I'll say it's at least a handful of people on every floor that got the loops. And you can hear it from the hallway, and they're in there doing it. And I'm like, all right, let me get that. Of course,
everybody making the same beat,
same whack ass beat. Right? So at that point, that's how I got introduced to starting it. And this is 2002 at this point.
You've been there for a while, man. You always had an ear for it too. Like I think I told a story about our West. Did we talk about music genre with Frank last time? Like let's listen to West Coast music and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
This was my partner in crime when it came to West Coast music, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we was in it.
We was in it to win.
We was from there. If you let us tell it, we was from out there.
We were there. Like we knew the culture and everything. And ladies and gentlemen, I have yet to ever step foot on California soil.
You gotta wait till COVID is over with. Don't go now.
Oh yeah, I'm not going. Oh heck no.
You'll be highly disappointed because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Man. And I say that to say this, ladies and gentlemen, we were wearing khakis with chucks. Mm-hmm. Anything that came from the death row era, that was all we played.
Which was already kind of over with at that point.
It was.
It fell off.
We were holding on to the outside, you know,
too long. Because you want to say this was like 99 at this point that we're doing this.
Yeah, man.
They was kind of through.
We were in school with this joint on, and people just knew what time it was. You know, they knew,
and so nobody was doing it. And it sounds so stupid now because there's like, and it's been this way for 10 years plus. But Chuck Taylor's come in 1,000,001 flavors now.
Yep.
But back then. It was
blue,
the blue, the white, and the black.
I had black.
I had the black, the blue, red.
And they was still about $25, $27 at that
yes,
point.
Indeed.
Now, so he was crazy about that. We didn't go to the same high school, right? But like that's how I was dressing at my high school too. That's we got a good vibe going because I remember I saw Smokey in Friday. And I was like, I like that style, man. Because in the movie, he had the khakis, he had the chucks, he had the solid t-shirt, and he had a solid black fitted hat.
That was my everyday apparel. Without the hat. Though.
When everybody was wearing Air Force Ones and Timbs, Chuck E. T's.
But
exactly.
But Chuck E. T's
was like $15 too, $20 at the time.
And but I'm gonna say one thing about the Chuck E. T's. Your feet regretted them every step of the way because I know my feet were aching coming.
I don't know how
joints.
They used to hoop in them things.
They
got it. All them old school players, they got to have some terrible feet.
They have to because that's terrible wear and tear on your feet, your ankles. Luckily, they weren't really doing crossovers at that time in life. They were just getting up and down the court.
They probably wanted to. They probably were just like, nah, that's a bad idea.
The soul just rip off from the bottom of that boy.
That's why them old vets, when you see like old Julius Irving clips, them cats can't walk now. Like they be trying to get their Hall of Fame coats. They be dragging themselves up to the stage.
They be having in the wheelchairs.
That's why they be having them big ass chairs on the sideline with the extra padding on them bitches. Like, damn,
Phil Jackson chair, technology and all that stuff they got going on now. No, none of that up under that soul. It was
just straight foot,
little thing, and then the ground. Like,
so thinking about like at the time where you were starting to create music, who were those producers, or what was that music that was influencing your sound that you were trying to create or trying to emulate?
At that time, the Neptunes was the hottest thing in the world.
Ooh,
they had just started to really get the bubbling, and they had got even hotter than that. But I mean, obviously, the people that came before I even start trying, Dr. Dre and Timbaland and those guys, they had already established themselves well beforehand. But at the time that I first got my hands on a little software program or keyboard or whatever, Neptune was the hottest thing in the world. And I didn't want to try to sound like that, but I at least wanted to like practice along those same lines to see if I was even on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like when you first I don't know, when you first try to do anything or you first pick up an instrument for the first time, you want to try to play something that's familiar, a song that everybody knows, just to see if you even know what you're doing before you start creating your own thing. Yep. So that's kind of how it started out. And they had just put out that one solo album, that first NERD album.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It wasn't really like a commercial success, but I listened to that thing probably every single day of my freshman year of college. And then I finally got my little stuff, and I was trying to make something along those lines, just to see if I kind of knew what I was doing. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Was that the album with Lap Dance on it?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, shout out to B.E.T. Uncut, by the way. Do y'all remember
that
video?
Yeah. That was around the same time.
Oh, baby, you want me? You get this lap dance here for free.
It was the other one. Time for Freaking used to come on.
Time for Freaking.
Bongo, Versace, Paris.
Used
to come on there all the time.
White girls.
Yep.
My mind.
Oh no, my favorite B.E.T. Uncut joint is What That Thing Smell Like.
Oh,
I'm trying to kick it tonight. Yeah. Black Jesus.
I never knew his name, but yeah.
Black Jesus at the end of the video,
what
all the girls
thing smell like?
no, all the girls walk past and put their finger up to his nose.
It's like, what is going on here? I think
hashtag yuck.
Yeah, I think the boiling point was Tip Drill. And I think they had to stop at that point. I think they had
it was getting out of control when he took the credit card up her butt crack.
Yeah, it was officially over the top at that point. I think they might have canceled it after that.
Oh no, I remember.
No, they still went strong.
Yeah, because Ludacris had the other one. What was the Ludacris joint?
Pussy Poppin'.
Oh yeah, yep. The one with the
yeah.
Oh,
they got really out of control. Yeah, they were competing on who could be more explicit.
Who could tip the scale? Yeah.
Right, who can push them to the limits.
Hey, shout out to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Shout out to parents for letting us stay up. Y'all heard them TVs going on. You know, we was watching at that time.
They knew
the new dance show.
That came right on time because I was out my parents' house and I was over 500 miles away. I ain't have to worry about nobody coming in there and looking at what I'm looking at.
And I'm begging, what that thing smell like?
Sean, look, that was on a college campus. That was Plan Z. You go to a party on the weekend. You know, nothing shake. You back at the place. What you do? You got Midnight Love. Midnight Love come on at what? Midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight Love.
Midnight Love.
I forgot about that. B.E.T. don't even show videos no more.
I know.
That's crazy, man.
Nobody show videos.
Fam, I was telling Greg the other day that I was one weekend I was over here vibing. Like I'll turn on Vivo and I was just looking at them old videos and I was just vibing. Because there's one thing to hear the music, you know, it gives you that sense of nostalgia, but to see those videos,
it takes you right back to what you was doing, man.
Yeah,
106 in Park.
Yeah, that used to be the point where that was the first time you heard the song. Like you wouldn't have heard the song anywhere else without watching the video.
That's right.
Unless you in the car with the radio. But
so my question is, why would they stop? Like if they're, you know what I'm saying, especially if the game is streaming and things like that. I get they put them on. Like why wouldn't like the mainstream media want to still have like a B.E.T. video type of show? Because these people are still paying a lot of money for these damn videos.
Videos are too accessible now.
Yeah. I was gonna say they couldn't compete with you having the ability to just pick up the phone,
right,
and put it up on YouTube at any moment you wanted to, as opposed to waiting on them to show it at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Why wait till 4 p.m. on BET? You got to wait for the whole countdown.
Right.
And then your video that you want to see probably ain't even on the countdown.
Right. You'd be mad as hell.
Well, you could just pull it up right now. So we would. So we were talking about how, you know, not only B.E.T. Uncut offered like, you know, your scandalous videos that you wouldn't see in the daytime, but they often offered like some songs that you wouldn't hear normally, like Chopper Style. You remember Splat
Chopper Style? Chopper
Style. Yeah, Splackavelli. Do y'all remember Splackavelli?
Is that the R&B joint?
Yeah,
that's the one that T posted on. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
I think it's a dude that you call to just knock you off real quick. Like if your man's not doing you right, you call up your Splackavelli to come through and do this thing. And then
Splackavelli.
Other than that song, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that word in life.
Ever.
Like, nah, that wasn't a real. They was trying to get that cracking, but nobody ever said that.
It didn't catch. It didn't catch.
Oh, it's
Splackavelli. No,
hey, are we bringing back Splackavelli? Hashtag Splackavelli?
No, not at all.
Leave that right where it was at. 98 or whatever year that was.
With that linen outfit he had on, sit him down, man.
Now I gotta look up I don't think I've ever seen the video. I remember the song.
It was pretty terrible. It was pretty terrible. It was a reason why those videos were on B.E.T. Uncut, because I think their management company paid B.E.T. like, come on, man, just come on. I mean,
sure, like,
come on, man, you got a little time for us. Come on,
let it slide.
Yeah, right. Come on.
All right, that is awful.
So, I wanted to tap into, because you were talking about your influence or how you got there, and your musical outlook on the Neptunes and things. Mm-hmm. But since we're talking about DJs, shout out to DJ Quick. I think DJ Quick was one of those producers that made me listen to music in a certain type of way, like his sounds and the beat patterns and things like that. Shout out to DJ Quick, man.
Shout out to DJ Quick.
Yeah, definitely. It was a different vibe over there too, because there was a lot more live instrumentation coming from the West and the South than it was on the East Coast. I mean, that's not to say one is better or worse, but it was a different sound. Whereas now convergence has hit because of the internet, so you don't know where anybody's from, and it really doesn't matter to me either. But back in those days, 80s to I'd say probably early 2000s, at that point it was very distinct who was from where and who got the sound from where. But now it's all over the place.
Yeah, I think that was kind of cool though. Like you have the distinct regional sound, right? Like you heard a song, you like that kind of feels like a West Coast joint, or that kind of feels like a down South joint. I think that was cool. I think that's cool to have a distinct sound, and you kind of get that with these verses. You know, I remember like Manny Fresh, and like hearing all those Manny Fresh songs, and they had a relationship, like those songs were related in some way. You know, they had the same beat patterns and harmonies and things like that. So, you know, I did appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, all that ended when everybody, prior to social media exploding like it did, it ended when a lot of people saw that as the way to propel themselves into a level of success or stardom or whatever. It's like, that's the guy that's winning. This is the way to win. Sounding like that. Now, that never was truly the formula, but you were able to make a couple dollars doing that. You wouldn't sustain a career doing that, but once one person saw that success, they just like, then that developed into, well, I just want to get one hit off and I'm done. And then you got 1,000 more people doing that. So whatever.
I think that's what the game changed into. They weren't trying to create a lot. They were just trying to be one hitters in and out. They weren't trying to create legacies for their music. They were just trying to get a quick hit and get up out of there. Because FruityLoops allow a person or two to get a quick hit, you know, at that time.
And it still does. And it's not their fault either. It's not.
No, it's not. Yeah,
the program's fault. It's just that people's mindset changed, and everybody thought that. I'll even admit, going back to the 2002 thing, when I first got my hands on a little thing and I made the first, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 beats, I thought I was about to release an album too. After the first 15, 20 joints, they sucked. I got shit from 2 years ago that sucks. So imagine something from almost 20 years ago that I thought was hot because I worked on it for a week or so.
At that particular time in life, you was like, yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, actually, I sequenced it and I bounced the track and I can put it on a CD. Damn, I could do all this.
I have to commend producers, because I used to spit a few bars back in the day, but the level of attention that you have to show to your craft, and the way that you guys can hear certain things that the normal ear won't hear unless you pay attention, that's amazing to me. Like, shout out to the producers out there. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the difference between like a real producer versus like somebody who makes beats. right? Like I think a true producer has an ear for sound and for harmonies, and like who can, you know, who can coach you in the booth and be like, you know, this sounds better than this, and kind of help you along. I think that's a producer as a opposed to somebody who just says, here's a beat, rap on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can agree with all that. I think that the main thing is that you the terms get confused, and I don't even have that argument with people no more because it's kind of pointless. But I think because nobody's ever going to agree on that. We agree on that because
hashtag agree to disagree.
exactly. But I think that what most people fail to realize in that what you just said, Ryan, is that they're not one and the same. If you can make a track, that doesn't mean you can make a song.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people you can make a track, Ryan make the track, Greg, you write the rhymes. I can come in as an outsider who don't know either one of y'all and make it work. I'm the producer. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Y'all couldn't make it work together, even though y'all got all the parts and all the pieces to the puzzle. Y'all couldn't put it together to make it sound right. I came in there as an outsider who's never heard it, don't even know y'all from the next man, but I put it together and made it sound like something. I would be considered the producer in that case.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just because you made the beat don't mean you could be the producer. Just because I'm the producer don't mean I can make the beat.
And that's where the executive producer steps in, right? Wouldn't that be his job?
Exactly. Or even the executive producer on a I guess on a more detailed level is the person that actually gets it to the point where it's actually released to the public.
Okay.
But it's all semantics because again, if we were all in the same room working on a song and we all contributed in different ways to all aspects of the song, I treat people completely fairly. I would venture to give you a production credit based on the fact that you didn't just sit back and send me this beat and then sit in the corner with your arms folded the whole rest of the day.
Exactly.
But I get it. People are stingy and everybody want their little piece of the pie. So whatever.
So Sean, do you do the engineering as well? Like talk about like the role of engineer. You know what I mean? I think that's
so
that's kind of foggy for a lot of people because you know you hear about dudes like Guru who did engineering for like Jay-Z and stuff. Like what is that role really?
Yeah, I gave up on the engineering aspect for the most part years ago. And the reason was because I had already been trying to do too much as it was. And you can never do it all. It's always done by committee when it comes to music. So I left that alone. I have an engineer that I've been working with solid for at least 15 years at this point, the same guy. And their primary role is to pull out the finished product between the actual recordings. So now obviously the engineer will probably take your track and then he'll record the rapper's vocals or the singer's vocals or whatever. Lay it on there, but his job is to make it come together. It's almost like a baker in a sense that, okay, somebody else went and bought all the ingredients for the meal and then brought the ingredients here. Now they may have put it together and said this is what they want, but then the engineer, the baker, is the one that's going to make sure the temperature is correct.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make sure everything's in place, make sure that it doesn't sit in there too long, make sure it's not dry if we're talking about a cake or just something to that effect.
So that's why like you can hear a song where like maybe the beat is good, the track is good, like somebody spitting some crazy bars, but it just don't quite sound right. Like it's, you know, the voice is too high or the track is too low. Like that's the engineer's role to kind of put that together and make it work.
Yeah, their job is more technical than it is creative. There is a creative side to it, but it's more of a technical thing. And there's no such thing as a bad engineering job, I'll say, as long as what comes out is what you asked for. Now, if it's something that's supposed to, because you do have lo-fi production, which is supposed to sound like an old reel-to-reel or old tape or something to that effect. That's what they were going for. And then you got the more the bigger and more polished sounds like you think of pop records, Britney Spears or Ariana Grande or something like that. You want that super clean and pristine sound that really wasn't a thing in hip hop until maybe like Dre or Trackmasters, if you want to go back that far. You know how clean their sound used to be. Yeah. And it was so crispy. It was just like, this isn't how hip hop used to sound before that. So that's their role, is to get what you want the final product to sound like, but also from a technical aspect, usually they're the ones that's polishing up everything that has been done, from the recordings, even the track that you created. Because I'll bring tracks in all the time where I just can't quite figure out how to get what I want out of it. Now I put it together and sequence it the way it's supposed to go, but the quality of the sound is what I can't get, and that's what the engineer's job is supposed to be.
Okay. So talk about, because you produce for a lot of you've been produced for a lot of things. You made albums. Shout out to my boy CDL too. Free CDL.
Yeah, but not too much more time either.
Good to hear that, man. Good to hear that. Talk about some of your show placements, man, for those who might not know what kind of work you put in out here in these streets, brother.
Yeah, so I'll go over that, and then I'll backtrack into how I even got there. So
for sure.
The ironic thing about it was, and this is almost kind of like parallel to the basketball thing. So like, I didn't really even know about sync licensing at all. I just knew that somehow, some way, this music always ends up in these TV shows and these films and these commercials and these video games. I just knew that it was a thing that existed, but how to get to that point, I had no idea. So if I want to do music, the only thing that I know to do is to partner with somebody who wants to be an artist, make some tracks for them, try to make it blow up, and then we get a deal. That's the more traditional route. Honestly, if that does work out, that's way more lucrative than what I do. But my personality, it leans more toward what I'm doing, because I don't have to chase people around. I don't have to make sure that these rappers or singers or artists, I don't have to make sure that they're in a good mood to record and got some songs on deck.
Right. Rapping is a strenuous process, bro. For those who want to be rappers.
Shout out to the creatives.
Yeah. So like at this point, so mainly what I do or have had success with rather is reality television, which I don't watch it at all. I'm not saying that to knock it. I just don't watch it. But the times that I have watched it to even understand what's going on, and now I have to based on being in this industry, but it's a lot of music. If you just watch one episode of one reality show, just pay attention to the music and how many different tracks or songs that you hear throughout a 30-minute episode.
Yeah, soundtrack,
cut down to 24 minutes with commercials. This, like, every 5 damn seconds there's a new track swinging.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. I'm not gonna sit there and complain about that, because if I can get all mine in there, then that's money, right? So
exactly.
So so it's mostly reality TV shows. I say the biggest one that you probably know would be Basketball Wives. I've only done 2 episodes of that, and that show's been on for a while, so I'm trying to finagle some things with that. I've done some daytime talk shows. I had some Ellen DeGeneres show episodes, actually 9 to be exact.
Shout out to Ellen.
Yeah, that's the most. Not take it back. That's the second most episodes of one single show that I've done. I've done this old show called Storage Hunters. There's another one called Storage Wars, which is bigger, but Storage Hunters is the same thing. It's where they go bid on the
stuff at the
storage units that they don't know what's in
there.
Yeah. I think I honestly can't remember exactly, but I think I did maybe 20-something episodes of that show. It only lasted like 2 seasons.
Was that on A&E or what are them? I think I do remember.
This was my first placement ever. This was 2011. And I don't know what channel it was on. I didn't even know it was on there, because this is why I didn't know, because the royalty payout in this case here, I do work for hire agreements all the time. I just basically license tracks for pitch and use, and then if they want to use the track, they have free reign access to it from the library. That, trust me, I'll explain all this when I get done with it.
Right.
They have free reign use over it once they pick it up from the library. So I never get notified if it gets used until it hits the air, and then I don't even get the payment until, depending upon when it hit the air, it's usually like a 6-month gap. So a show might air today, I might not even know until June of next year. And then that's when the royalty payout is. So again, those 20-some episodes, they ran sometime between the year 2011. I didn't know until May or June of 2012 when I got the check. And I was like,
holy moly.
And that was at the point where I was like, oh, okay, this is a real thing.
Now, was it worth the wait? I mean, I'm clearly, because you're still in the business.
Well, it was worth the wait because I didn't have to, I didn't lose anything.
That's true.
It's not like I spent money to try to go for this opportunity. It was something that I just submitted for. These are tracks that I was already doing, that already sat there, that I was going to be doing anyway, that's going to be collecting dust. So why not make a couple dollars off of it just sitting around?
I know that's right, man.
Let it happen.
So was it like,
I know.
Is it where you had to like watch the episode and score it like John Williams did Star Wars, or was it just like you have, you know, tracks that you just submit and then, you know, they decide to use it? What was that process like?
So there's a million different ways that it can happen, and that's one of them. But that wasn't my situation. So I'll give you 3 scenarios. That's one of them. If you get hired to actually score a project, then yes. What they'll do is they'll actually have dummy tracks already inserted, because usually the music is the last thing that goes in anything, whether we're talking about a TV show, film, or whatever, commercial even. That's the last thing. So they'll already create the whole movie. They'll edit the movie and everything how it's supposed to be. And they'll have dummy tracks or reference tracks already inserted there. But they want to select their own music to go in place of it. So as an example, I had one track that landed in this movie called Don John. It came out in 2013.
Oh yeah. What's my man's name?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. Okay.
Him and Scarlett Johansson was in it, and the older lady, I can't remember her name, but this film was already completed. It was done. It was at Sundance Film Festival, all this other stuff, complete. Then it got a theatrical release. So at that point, they wanted to use the track of mine to put in a theatrical release. But mind you, the place where my track was, there was already a song there in place, but it was just a placeholder because they were just trying to get into the film festival, get some reviews, and then possibly get a theatrical release and then finish the product. So again, this movie was already completely done. I had no part in it. They just wanted to use the track that I had for that piece. So we came to an agreement on it, and I signed off. They sent the check, and then that was it. But the other 2 options that I can think of at the moment is there are companies that do have like briefs that they'll send out. Like there's one that I'm a part of. I won't name because I don't really think I'm at liberty to even like promote them or nothing like that. But basically they send down briefs to say, hey, we have a pitch for a cell phone commercial that's looking for this type of music, this tempo, this type of sound. This is what the commercial was about. And whatever you submit should be in the realm of this. And they'll send reference tracks as well.
Oh,
so they might say, hey, we need something in this realm. And here's something that they're thinking of. And it might be like, I don't know, a Wiz Khalifa song or something like that. Just as an example of what they're looking for. So then you'll go in there, you'll find if you have something or you create something around that. And it's usually a deadline too. So you have to either have it or get it done before then and it's submitted. And then the third thing, which is primarily where I'm at, is there are libraries that exist. They just have a ton of music. And that's what I have with Next Exit Productions. It's just a library, just a ton of songs. I only got 100 songs in mine. Some have hundreds of thousands. Some have millions. Well, basically, the songs already exist. You submit these songs to the library. You give them the opportunity to pitch your music where they see fit or for whatever opportunity that they have available. So you've already signed an agreement with the library to say, hey, I'm giving you this track to pitch to whatever. I don't even care what it is. It doesn't matter. I have no preferences because I'm authorizing you to do this.
To do it, pretty much market for you.
Right. So they'll send it to whatever show, production house, whatever. And then if that production house wants to use it, then
they'll contact you or they'll contact them.
They'll contact the library and say, hey, we want to use this. And then you either discuss the terms at that point, or if you've already discussed the terms, which in my case is a work for hire situation where I just give it to them. They take it, they'll pitch it. If it lands, then we just split the profits if it lands. So that is where I'm saying there may be a situation where they use a track and I don't even know for 6 months because the payout situation isn't coming until 6 months anyway. So who knows? You may know. There have been times specifically I was on the couch, halfway knocked out, and
hashtag naps.
that TV One series Unsung was on.
Yeah.
You know, to get the stories about and it was the episode with the Ghetto Boys. And I wasn't particularly interested in watching it. It was just on, you know, background noise. And then I heard a track of mine playing.
You heard your joint?
Woke up about that nap.
I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? So the first thing I did, I went to my registry to make, because you have to register all your tracks in order to get paid. I went to the registry to make sure it was in there. Because I didn't
like hold up.
I couldn't remember. I was like, yo, if it's not in there, then I'm just ass out. So I went to the registry, like, oh shit, boom, it's in there. Then I hit the library up and was like, hey, did y'all register? It was like, yeah, that's one of our partners. It's in there. I went and checked, double checked again, and it was there. But again, it was 6 months before I saw the check. But I heard it and saw it on TV 6 months ago.
And that was a highly viewed little sitcom right there, man. That was a dope little series.
Yeah.
Bro, that's what's up. Congratulations on that, bro. For sure.
Yeah, so it's a cool thing. Like I said, these are situations where these are production companies that want to get business done because they have deadlines, they have air dates, and there's a ton of moving parts. This is not like an artist who can decide he gonna drag his feet or she don't want to put out an album today because she going through something with her boyfriend or whatever. You know, we don't have to deal with that.
For sure.
If Viacom says that we paid this production company to put on this program and they don't do it, they in hot water. So it's in their interest to get this business done, cut these checks, and get them moving, as opposed to.
Did Viacom make Street Fighter?
Oh, it's Capcom.
Oh, let's call that. One of them comps.
Yeah, but Viacom is a big media conglomerate that owns
very big
and VH1. They own some other networks as well, but yeah, that was Capcom.
But I want to appreciate. I really
shout
appreciate.
Out to M. Bison.
right. Spider 2,
Blanca.
Hey, can somebody just hold on? Completely random. Why did they have that part? That stage where you had to just beat up the car, you had to go crazy on the car.
Remember that? The shit out the car. Just a bunch of rage. I guess because you're in the streets, you just pissed off. I want to beat the hell out of this car.
Just mash the hell out the buttons.
Yeah, just giving the Hadouken to the Mercedes. Like, why am I doing this?
And why is this car just parked on the bridge?
You got points, but the points you couldn't cash the points in
at all, because you still will be the same person when you fight somebody else and get your ass.
You don't get no power ups,
nothing
extra. You can't get no like extra
abilities,
fireballs or nothing. Like
nothing, bro.
But I do want to car's ass real quick. All right, my bad. I do.
But Shad, I appreciate you for that, man. Because to all of our listeners who want to be up and coming producers, his story is pretty much letting you know that you don't have to just be a Manny Fresh. You know what I'm saying? There's so much business out here with this music game that a lot of people didn't even know existed till right now. You know,
a lot of avenues. A
whole lot of avenues.
Commercials. Somebody got to do that music.
For sure.
Yeah, somebody has to do it. And the thing of it is, like, and I'm not even anywhere near, like I said, 2011 was when I first got into the industry. And I'm not even like a big dog at all. I'm not even like mid-grade, to be honest with you, as far as like credits and connections, you know what I'm saying? Because it's all about that, you know what I'm saying? Having the connections or having the credits to where people can look you up. So what I would suggest doing for anybody that might even be trying to get into this avenue, first of all, I mean, if y'all I don't know if you're gonna put my Instagram or whatever on the episode.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
If anybody wants to like chat more about it, like just hit me up. I'll love to talk about it all day and point you in the right direction, because I'm going to say this because I hate when people leave this part out of their story because everybody wants to be self-made or sound self-made. That's not the case. I got a friend that I met at Tennessee State University. He's a rapper, and he was trying to get his thing going, and he's primarily, getting acting roles now. He lives in Hollywood, actually, and he's from Tennessee. He just moved out there and went and tried to make his dream happen. He is the one that connected me to the primary library manager that I get most of my work through. He lives in LA. I'm back here in the Midwest. We was tight enough to where he was doing his thing out there in Hollywood and getting his connections going and meeting people and all that. And he just sought me out and called me and told me he knew somebody that manages a library for sync licensing. I was just grateful for that, because I'm like, dude, we ain't hung out or talked for real in years. and you called me about this situation. So I appreciate
that's what's up, man.
Man, you know what's crazy about
I would
that?
never know.
What's so crazy about like you even bringing that up is like, so Monday I did a quality minute. Like I do these segments where I just do a quality minute and just share like some things that I've learned. And I was talking about the importance of relationships and the importance of being connected to people, right? And having these positive relationships, and no matter what, industry you're in. And so that's just a perfect example of like, if you know a guy, you build a positive relationship, and it may not be anything right away. Like maybe you're just cool, but he grows in his career, and then he reaches back to you and says, hey man, I got an opportunity for you. So like, again, building relationships is so important, man.
It's so important, man. So important.
And being down to earth too, because again, had I been somebody other than who I am, just even if I don't know you, I'm not gonna shade you. I'm just gonna, all right, we'll chop it up, and then if we don't have nothing in common, we don't have nothing in common. I'm not
hashtag be authentic.
Exactly, and be open, because again, this is a white guy at a black college, mind you. So
shout out to Soul Brother.
the fact that we became friends like that in that predicament in itself is something special to me.
Yeah, we appreciate you, White Mike. We appreciate you, bro.
We see White.
The crazy thing is, his name is Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
Seriously.
Shout out to Mike.
All the pieces are coming together right now, man.
That's what's happening.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy. I went and saw him last year out there in LA doing his thing, and damn, there was something else that I was gonna bring up, but I lost my train of thought.
Hey, but it sounds like, man, listen, you put in your minutes, man, and that's what it's about.
That's what it's about.
Making every minute count and putting in your quality minutes and grinding every day, and also doing what you love and doing what you're passionate about, man. That's important.
Yeah, it's definitely important. That's why when I saw that y'all had the brand Quality Minutes, and the first thing that came to my mind was, again, making the most out of the time that you're given. Because
you're not promised.
Like, anything that you want to do or plan on doing, any ounce of spare time that you get, I feel that you should be putting in some sort of effort to make that happen. Whether it's just, again, I don't make tracks every day. I don't even think about making tracks every day, but the times that I'm usually looking for some other avenue, another library, another connection, or somebody within what I'm doing that I can speak to, just to keep the ball rolling on the situation.
Making every account, bro. That's right.
I posted this week. It was a quote I saw. It said, if you're not where you want to be in life, why you chilling so much? like that is why you chilling so much?
Right. I can get with that.
Hashtag mental note.
Mental note. If you are not,
you do have to have those times where you chilling, but
for sure. You gotta refill the tank. But if you are not where you want to be in life, why you chilling so much?
And then I saw a video on Instagram the other day, and he was talking to a billionaire guy. He said, "Man, you want to know why you're broke? Look at the friends around you. If they're doing broke stuff, what do you expect yourself to be?" Ooh. And I was just like, "Whoa." Because you can't place yourself around people who don't have the same kind of positive mindset as yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got a quote for you.
I got a lot of people who miss out on opportunities because they feel as though they have to protect or watch over somebody else's moves. Mm-hmm. So you have to just be on your own, man. You got to go for better, no matter what you do. Go ahead.
Yeah,
bro.
I got a quote for you. I'm gonna tear the quote apart, but it's like, if you friends with four broke dudes, you're gonna be the fifth. If you friends with four losers, you're gonna be the fifth. But if you friends with four winners and four successful individuals, most likely you're gonna be the fifth. So yeah, definitely watch your company and watch the circle and company that you keep.
Always surround yourself with positivity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely
always.
Important,
but side note, man. He brought up Sam Goody. Okay, first of all, shout out to Sam Goody, Blockbuster Music back in those days.
Yeah.
Media Center.
Media Center.
No. Media Play. That's what it was called. Media Play.
Yeah, they used to have Circuit City also.
The Circuit City.
How much do you miss going into them joints and like picking
up the headphones and just listening to the whole album so you don't have to buy it?
It was a different experience. That was cutting edge technology right there when you used to be able to listen to the joint before you bought. Because back in the day, you bought it off the strength of a single that you heard.
You're right.
And the rest of the other 18 tracks is terrible. You're like, man, I want all my. And the CDs used to be $22 or something stupid like that back then.
And it's funny you say that because that one album I can recall myself buying just off.
I already know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
What are you about to say?
I think I do. Go ahead. Say it.
This one I'm gonna say is 400 Degrees. Because I didn't really like the song High.
Okay.
But when I heard it, it was off the chain. Like, damn, it was just different. You know what I'm saying? Juvie hit it with a different kind of, and I was just like, wow. But I would never thought of it just off that single, bro.
So that's a success story. I thought you was gonna give me a terrible story because I'll do you the opposite. I was talking about? I bought the Dogfather off the single, and the rest of that was bad. That was
I bought the Dogfather too from Media Play, and it was I rolled my bike to Tell 12 Mall.
Oh, Jesus!
It's a lot of money. It was like $21.99 something.
Hey,
crazy.
Hey,
like
look,
that.
okay.
I'm
a Snoop
Doggy.
Shout out Dogfather CD.
I just Uncle Charlie. Snoop, so I'm like, it can't be bad.
It was. The Dogfather album was not
wasn't great.
It should have been.
Wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
No.
But the Dogfather also had You Thought on there because that was my shit.
It had a couple joints.
Too Short,
but it
had a few joints.
It followed Doggy Style though. It had to follow Doggy Style.
That's
so
tough.
That already knocked it down a couple.
Yeah, for sure.
From what it was coming, what he was coming off.
I mean, we talking about arguably like the greatest hip hop album ever put out. Like
ever put out, man. That's hard, man. And I was afraid for Snoop when that album came out.
Y'all probably already had this conversation too, maybe amongst yourselves. But Doggy Style or Chronic? The first Chronic.
That's tough. I'm going to say Doggy Style though. Only because Dre had to reinvent himself with somebody else other than with like NWA. You know what I'm saying? He had a connection with Cube. He had a connection with those guys. So when he got Snoop in there and the level of music and the production that was put behind it with so many features of people that he probably never worked with before, I'm gonna have to go with Doggy Style.
I'm definitely have to go with Doggy Style. Like, I mean, that's hard. That's like picking macaroni and cheese or yams at Thanksgiving, man. It's tough.
I gotta have both. I gotta have both.
I mean, I might even mix them
on this plate left.
I might even mix them.
You can't put them on top of each other. You gotta have space on the plate.
Yeah, I gotta mix them.
No, I'm gonna go with Doggy Style because that was Snoop's, his debut and like it just felt good. Like it was an album that just felt good, man. Like the sound and the tracks were just fantastic. From start to finish, man. I mean, teacher, somebody at my job, I work at a school, and a teacher had mentioned that one of her favorite karaoke songs was Lottie Dottie.
Oh, whoa!
Where was he doing karaoke at?
Right.
This middle-aged white woman said that her favorite karaoke song was Lottie Dottie, and that beat popped into my head immediately. That was
man, that's probably, like you said, that's probably one of the greatest hip hop albums ever. Yeah. So it's hard to compete with that. It's
sure.
bad. I think it's a lot better than Chronic actually, but
livequalityminutes.com. Make sure you go to livequalityminutes.com, subscribe to the YouTube Quality Minutes. Prolyphic, tell them where they can find you too, man.
Yeah, you can find me at nextexitproductions.com. It's not spelled properly. It's NXTEXT productions.com. And you can find me on Instagram. Prolyphic is not spelled like it ought to be. It's PROLYPHIC, the pro, on that IG and Twitter as well. I'm not really on there a whole lot, but the account still exists. So if you hit it, I'll get the alert for sure.
Indeed. But we got, black people, we got to throw some swag on it, man. We can't spell things the right way.
Not at all.
We got to do things our way.
Hell yeah. Gotta have a little sauce on there. Gotta put a little sauce.
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about?
So so while we here, we talk about music. We closing out the year. I think this was a great year for music, particularly hip hop music. And as a producer, like, who do you think had a good year as a producer or even artist? Like, you can answer the question however you want, but like, who do you think had just a really great year as far as being a producer or even just an artist?
Yeah, producer is easy. Hit Boy probably won.
Oh man,
Hit Boy had an amazing fourth quarter.
Great run.
He been shooting from the logo.
Yeah, right. At this point, it's like a heat check. At this point, he's just throwing it from anywhere, and it's kind of going in from anywhere.
Yeah. Shout out to Hit Boy.
I mean, yeah, because if you come with doing a good portion of that Big Sean album and the whole Nas album, I think just between those two, it was a hell of a winner. And I hate to keep thinking back to how things were and comparing it to now because it isn't the same. But the fact that he primarily produced 2 full albums that came out this year by 2 huge mainstream artists, you never
tough.
Really used to see that.
Yeah, it's tough.
Right. That's crazy. But as far as artists, though, that's a tough one, man. I can't.
So what two albums are you referring to? You said Sean,
Big
Nas,
Sean, Detroit 2.
Nas
and
Benny the Butcher. Don't forget about Benny's album.
Please go listen to Benny if you haven't.
He did a bunch of stuff on Benny's too.
Oh, he did the whole album.
Oh, right. Okay.
Please go listen to
I'm
Benny.
thinking about The Machine. I'm thinking about his.
Oh, Conway. Oh, yeah. That's, ooh, that's all. I think that was mostly Alchemist on that one. Yeah, that's right. Shout out to Alchemist still being around too, being relevant for the culture.
Yeah, he came alive and he did that Alfredo joint.
Oof.
Yes, sir.
Fred Gibbs with his nomination. Shout out to Freddie.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Also, Cardo is he did his thing this year though too.
Shout out to Cardo.
But he not like Hit Boy.
Yeah, Hit Boy has broken the dice and been hitting nothing but 7s on the grab tag.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
It's still a point where he probably should just back out the casino. Like, all right, this
he's reminded me.
Cash mine in.
This little this run is reminding me, like, because he reminds me of a Just Blaze a bit. You know what I'm saying? Not to a certain extent, but certain songs that I've heard, it gives me a Just Blaze type of feel, and I like it. He Just Blaze makes some feel good music. So
Just Blaze is my favorite producer. A lot of people think that's stupid, but
hey, man, Just goes crazy.
What? Yeah. Listen, Sean. I whoever says that's stupid is stupid.
Should be ashamed of themselves. No, they should be ashamed of themselves.
We talked about this before, but before Versus, there's a video on YouTube with Swiss Beats and Just Blaze.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
The battle they had, yep.
And so when you hear the tracks that he Just Blaze did, you like, my God.
Yeah. Just used real instruments too, so
especially later on. What the crazy thing about that, it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Unfortunately, one of my homeboys from college, he had passed away, and he was from Chicago. So they had the funeral in Chicago. I got there a day early, and Just Blaze was spinning at one of the clubs downtown.
Oh my God!
I didn't know this until I got there. I'm like, we going to this. You know what I'm saying? And then he wasn't necessarily like a performer per se. He was just the DJ for the night. So he played all the other whatever was hot at the time songs and stuff like that. But then he did a set of his own stuff.
Oh my God!
When he went into that, it was like I almost.
I know it went up. It went up, didn't it?
Had to.
It definitely did.
So they dropped that Joe Button.
You gotta give it up to the Pump It Up.
I like that song. Everybody think that.
I don't like it either, but the beat is
like
crazy.
It's a good song. I like that song.
Song is amazing to me. It's not. I know why a lot of people don't like it. I can't say for you, but a lot of people don't like it because of how commercialized it got. Like it was in all them dance movies, like You Got Served and all that shit. Okay. So it's like people was like, all right, man, what is this? Especially because he, have more of a
that was an amazing track though. It was an amazing track, man.
I thought that song was dope. The video was corny
for sure.
Like it's another song that just played is one of my favorites. It's Why Do You Hate the Game? It was on the games. What CD was that? I think it was. It was the second CD. What the hell was the name of it though?
No. After about 05, like titles of things start to lose, like albums and song titles. Right. I don't really know. After that,
it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff ever since 05 that I don't really know because like it feels like in my memories that like 05 and 07 and 08, all those years just blend together. So sometimes I'll be telling stories that might have happened in 05. That shit might have happened in 04. You know what I'm saying? Like,
argue you down like you know for sure it didn't happen that way. Like, not quite sure on it.
Shout out to growing old.
Oh man. So you know who's another producer I'm learning to appreciate, like Royce the 5'9". Aside from being a lyrical alien, like he is producing very well. Like so he produced just produced J.R. Payne's most recent project, and I mean he got a lot of soul beats. You know, you can get you gotta get that oh gosh. You kind of get that Jay Dilla feel from him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of real soul joints, man.
Rest in peace, Dilla, man.
Rest in peace, Dilla. So go listen to Beautiful Pain Part 2. Beautiful Pain Part 2. RJ Payne, man. Produced by Royce the 5'9".
Shout out to Royce doing this thing for sure, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time. He another one over 20 years.
Yeah,
at this point doing it.
Listen, you know
what
who
would
my
you say
favorite
would be your best producers for the Speedo? What you think your producer selection would be for the year?
I was gonna say Hit Boy, you know, Alchemist, definitely, you know, Derringer for the work that he's doing and continues to do it with Griselda. I stay with that, man. They've been doing good work.
Yeah, that makes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And you was about to say something. I know I probably took your train of thought.
You talking about me? Or?
Was I? No.
Yeah, you right.
Oh,
you was about to say something.
I don't know. I don't know.
Somewhere in there.
But yeah, man. So since we here, man, you know, we always do towards the end. We wrap it up with quality music recommendations. So, you know, we take some time to like recommend some music, any music that you recommend. It could be old, new. It don't have to be hip hop. It could be R&B. What quality music recommendations do you have for the folks?
I got you. I'm about to open my Spotify right now because I can't titles, but I'm about to pull it up so I can give you the title of it. And this is kind of a different situation for me because I ain't really started listening to this guy until maybe last year. But the most recent project that is titled, come on, now my connection want to be slow. Cool Tape 3, Jaden Smith.
Okay.
I know that sound like, what do you mean? You listening to Jaden? You listen to Will?
No.
Jaden got a couple projects I like.
He got some joints, bro. He got some joints.
That Cool Tape 3 got some joints on there. And I don't even know how I came across it because I was just, I don't have any of his stuff saved in my playlist anywhere, but it just happened to appear one day. And yeah, that joint goes. Now it has an in and out vibe, meaning like if you like certain genres of music, you're probably not gonna get that same feel on the next song. But if you stick with it, you'll find another one that sounds like that. But it's not too far off to where you can't get with. It's not like you got a country record and then a hip hop record.
I like albums that's all over the place though. Yeah. I like artists who can go and switch it up. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, my selection will be, if you haven't tapped in, or go back and tap into West Side Gun's "Pray for Paris." I can't even
definitely should have got a Grammy nod. Definitely should have got that Grammy nod.
Because
it's amazing album.
It's Wale's on there. Who else is all on the joint, man? You got Wale, you got Joey Badass, Tyler the Creator, you got Benny the Butch, Freddie Gibbs. Please go tap in to Pray for Paris because it was just an immaculate album for sure.
Yeah, no, I love that album. That album reminds me of COVID-19 because it dropped in. Did it drop in March or April?
It dropped in April 2020.
So I remember sitting at the house, quarantined.
Yep,
figure it out like the rest of us.
Listening to Pray for Paris, man, every day.
Playing 2K.
Right. That's a great album, man. Shout out to West Side.
And man, speaking of 2K. You know what I played the other day because I was cleaning up down here in the basement And I found this out of the millions of things that probably need to go out. I played NBA Live 99.
Wow. With KG on that joint?
PlayStation, dog. The first PlayStation joint.
Oh my God.
And I haven't unplugged it yet.
I want to play. Matter of fact, I'm pulling up because I want to play.
It's definitely here. It's here. It runs. It still runs.
That joint. I know the graphics are there is so trash.
Yeah, it's probably not good for your eyes and stuff.
Heck no, all them pixels.
Yeah. And nobody looks like
pixelated.
Supposed to. It's just
Nah.
Jesus.
Imagine why we thought it looked so good back then.
Man, I miss NBA Live. If they made an NBA Live like they used to with a 2K feel, I'll play live. But it's so commercial now. Like I was straight on live. Like 2K came out, it just blew live out the water. Like I tried to hold on for dear life to live, but I couldn't. Especially when you were able on 2K to block somebody's ball and it goes in the crowd and hit the camera. You remember that? On the Dreamcast?
Damn. It was a knockout with the graphics, but the gameplay still hadn't caught up. So they had a couple years left, but then I don't know. I ain't had a game since 2001. A new game, like a new joint.
Like so a new game. I mean, because you got stuff to do, man.
I mean, no, we all have stuff to do. It's just
I get it.
I just fell off with it. I don't even know how to do this shit. So if you try to make me play that new shit, I probably would just be like, I probably get blew out. Like I
don't like because I know people like that too. You know, when I don't play Madden or something like yo, come on, hop on this, just play the Madden real quick, just so you can beat me. No, I'm straight.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I'm not wow, so you can embarrass me.
And I'm competitive too. So just about to just blow me out by 40. I don't think I get mad.
Right. I'm taking your shit home. I'm taking your shit home so I can learn how to play it and I'll bring it back when I get good. Then we can go at it. You know what I'm saying?
This game for 2 weeks, like, yo, let's get it. And don't come back and beat them. Oh, that's the worst.
They ain't got to fight. No, I'm not fighting at this age. So.
That's how my son be doing me with the shooter games. He know I can't play them shooter games. He be tearing me apart, bro. Man, every hour, kill me, I respawn. It's too much, kill me again. Like, this ain't even fun no more.
That's how they get their get back on you.
Yeah, right. Be tearing my ass up.
That's how they get it. Tear your ass up. Because my daughter be want to play Scott be want to play Grand Theft with me all the time. Nope, I'm straight. You ain't about to kill me to take your frustration out of me.
Yeah, like, oh, no. You living through this game. Hell no.
Why don't you hop on this Fortnite then? Nope, I'm solid. Nope.
Yeah, you a level 100,000. All the upgrades. All the new guns,
the V-Bucks, or the V-Bucks, the skins.
Yeah, all I got is the regular armor with the pistol. No,
I don't know how to do nothing. I'm just pushing buttons.
Super handicap. Hell no.
I'll pass.
Play me like that.
I mean, I used to do that to my little cousins, though. Tear their ass up in games they ain't know how to play. You want to play for real? Do you really want to play? Oh, okay. I ain't taking it easy either. Just be fucking them up.
Yeah, well, they got to learn somehow. Hey, so
rough and rugged.
So I'm going through Spotify right now, and I'm looking at my your top songs of 2020. They do that.
Ooh, yeah.
Why is like 90% of my songs Griselda music?
Damn, the whole catalog.
Like 90%. Like I'm scrolling, I'm like, West Side Gun, Conway.
My top 5 songs from 2020 are from Spotify. It's Ill-Advised from Boldy James.
Okay.
Produced by Alchemist. My second is Hold Up from Young Dolph.
How many hold ups was it?
Hold up.
I think
so we gotta get 7 of them joints. Okay, yeah. 7 of them boys. My third one is West Side Gun, Michael Irvin.
Okay.
My fourth one is Babies and Fools, Freddie Gibbs and Conway the Machine.
Now on that list, are they in order? Like I'm looking at my list, but are they in order?
Yeah, mine is going straight to order, just straight down. Because if you go to your list that says your top songs of 2020, it goes by which ones you listen to more.
Really?
Just go down to the top 5. Yep. And my last one was West Side Gun, Eurostep from the Pray for Prayer CD.
So here's what's interesting. If that is the case, if those top 5, if they list them by like how often you listen to them, my top 5, 4 of them are Pray for Paris songs.
Damn. Spinning the hell
of them.
Spinning the hell out of them.
George Bondo, French Toast,
Ooh.
Allah Sent Me, and $500 ounces.
On repeat.
On repeat. I was going crazy on it. So let's see. My quality music recommendations would be, I'm gonna give you 2 because I always give hip hop, so I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. So my first would be Juicy J's album. Juicy J's album is solid. Like the thing about Juice
going.
You say what?
I says, shout out to Juice Man, still going, man.
Juice is still going, still producing good music. You know, Juice is in, he's in his pocket, he's in his bag, like he's doing what he does, right? Not going too far away from what he typically does, but it just sounds good. He has Conway on there, he's got Dolph on there, he's got Lil Baby on there, he's got 2 Chainz on there, but it's just a dope album. Logic, Meg Thee Stallion, Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah, I like Logic. I like Logic, man. He be talking crazy.
So if you run or exercise, the Juice Man, that's a good album. It's The Hustle Continues is the name of the album. So my second one is so I'm not a Beyonce fan at all. I'm not really a Beyonce fan like most people are Beyonce fans, but like her that line.
Don't say that out loud, man. They'll be on your head. Them beehive people. You can't say that too loud.
Listen, I'm just saying I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan like But that Lion King soundtrack where she did the Black is King visuals for it on Disney Plus, like it's a good album. It just sounds good because she's got a lot of Afro beats in there. You know, what's my man's name? Burna Boy. I think is it Burna Boy on there?
Burna Boy. I don't know. Well, you know what? Let me stop. I was gonna say definitively, but not.
I don't know, but
I know Burna Boy got some stuff though.
Well, she's got a lot of Afro beats artists on the album, and it's a good sounding album. So like definitely that's my non-hip hop, quality music recommendation. So shout out to those joints.
Shout out to them, man. And if you haven't stopped by livequalityminutes.com. Support a brand that supports you. Yes. John, we appreciate you, brother, to be able to come out here and tell your story, man. It's remarkable what you're doing. We wish you continued success in your ventures. Tap into those. Hey, I know everybody out there got YouTube or Hulu. Go look at these damn sitcoms so y'all can hear my man's music out there. Because he's doing his thing, man.
Check it out. Now, real quick story with that. When it comes to the streaming, the pay is far less. So
get into that. Like, how does the streaming work? I've always wanted to know.
Tell you to not watch it, but it would take a lot for me to see some significant off of that. Because really, like, the payout is that like the payout is greater if you got an upfront fee for the usage of the joint that you negotiated, you get that. If it's a major network production, like something on ABC, NBC, or something like that, the payout is pretty significant there. If it's a theme song for a show, it's a pretty significant payout on that. If you're going into the cable TV realm, that's a little bit less money than the bigger networks. And then if you go into the streaming side of things, it's like extremely low.
You know what? You just go ahead, Ryan.
Now, I was going to ask a question. I was going to ask, what was y'all's favorite sitcom theme song?
Ooh, I was just about to say, Sean, like, yo, bro, we about to get into this sitcom theme song music. I'll be your artist, just like the dude from Whatever Happens to the Disability. It's a rare condition of this day and age. Yeah, we can make some hits, Sean. We can make some hits.
Yeah, if Dog paperwork was in order, he's great. So don't stop coming on. Just like Fresh Prince, stop coming on.
Hey, you make a good point. I hope his paperwork is right because he probably kicking himself in the ass like, damn.
Exactly. He would
out there like Eddie Kane when they kicked him out the group.
Right. He'd have been on somebody's corner right now. Like, remember when shit. Like, right.
Yeah, but man, shout out to them old sitcom theme songs because they had cats in the studio singing. Like,
yeah, they used to produce full songs. And then I remember like some of those shows, like Family Matters in particular, the song was originally way longer. They cut it down.
Yeah, it was longer.
Because they got to realizing like, yo, we don't need a whole 3-4 minute
Give
song.
They give you the whole joint with the turnaround intro.
Smiling.
Right. Like doing a little something stupid and then look at the camera like
coming down the stairs.
Yeah, man. It's almost like a joke when you see that now. Like,
oh yeah.
Man, nobody
when people
like
used
that.
to be tapped into the screen every time this show came on, tapped in. You just hoped your life was like that. It was like a Family Matters house.
Exactly. And it was all good at the end of every episode too.
Every time.
It was somebody sitting down writing lyrics to that junk.
Right.
Conflict resolution every episode.
But it wasn't even just the sitcoms though. Remember, it was like the cartoons. Remember Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, DuckTales. Like
Let's get dangerous.
And them songs was even goofier when it came to the cartoon joints. So yeah. Crazy talk. Like, what is wrong with this?
I hope they all had their paperwork together as well. Because
because a lot of them people was selling that stuff off. They was creating the joint and they was getting a check and then all right, bye. And then
not knowing that the TV show gonna be a hit. Jesus.
Hashtag know your worth.
Please.
Hashtag get your paperwork right.
Please.
Exactly. But nobody really even knew about the game like that.
Yeah.
Until I'll say, and I could be wrong, anybody who's watching this can correct me, but I'll say everything that we've talked about with what I'm doing versus how those songs were coming out in those sitcoms and stuff, I don't think none of this licensing stuff was really a thing until like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like people wasn't even picking up on it like that. Yeah. And it didn't really become an industry like that until then. So
that kind of takes you back to how the music industry guys were getting screwed by them record labels and stuff back in the day, like the Motown days and before that stuff. Like, they were getting screwed. Yeah, they were getting screwed.
Yeah.
So that shows you how like forward thinking dudes like Ray Charles were, who back in the day,
I want my
40, 50, 60, who was like, I need to own my masters. Like I need those masters.
All of them.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's super important.
Especially if you got something that's worth something. That's another thing too. And I don't want to talk about nobody's business, but owning your masters is only important if you have something worth owning.
Talk that shit. Say it again for him. Please say it again.
You can own the hell out of something that ain't going nowhere. All right, what you doing? So it's like you gotta, if you have leverage or whatever, then yeah, you can negotiate a bigger percentage or whatever. But if you own something that nobody's ever heard, then what are you really fighting for? Because it's not going to generate anything. Now, I'm not telling you not to do it, but what I'm saying is if you just table in all conversations because they want a piece of something, think about what you really think that you're giving up.
Yeah.
Like, what space are you in? Like, even me personally, sitting here saying this, like, I don't have the clout or the leverage to really say that I don't want to do no deal if the terms aren't completely in my favor.
That's true.
Because I ain't all right. What else am I gonna do with this if I don't deal with this situation right here and try to make this deal the best possible?
Listen to this.
I don't have a Rolodex of 100 people that got clout that I can run to if this don't work. So what you doing?
Yeah, I think Royce, I don't remember what song it was, but Royce mentioned that he was like, what's X% of nothing?
Yeah.
That is true.
What's X% of nothing?
What are you doing? You're gonna be somebody that's in the basement or in your bedroom, whatever, making these records over and over and over again. Now you got 1,000 records, and then you're gonna tell your kids 50 years from now that you made all this wonderful music that you didn't do nothing with because you were scared of nothing.
Don't be afraid,
that doesn't
man.
make any sense, man.
Push yourself to the limits. Do not be afraid out there.
And
man.
another thing, as a tip for just anybody, you can translate this to any business that you want to. If you were able to come up with this product that you're so afraid of giving up a certain percentage of, or again, not getting exactly the terms that you want, think about how you actually came up with this thing in the first place, and what is preventing you from coming up with something just as good or better
right
the next time around.
Have confidence in yourself that you can do it again.
Confidence, self-confidence.
I'm telling you. And again, this ain't me just coming up with this. Somebody had to tell me this. So there it is with that. Like I've let stuff go for little to no money to let the back end work itself out. Meaning, like, I may not get anything else from this, but there's a potential that something else could come from it.
Yeah.
So if I give
invest in yourself, man. You gotta invest in yourself, bro.
If y'all not listening, y'all need to listen.
Yeah, for sure, because he's #dropping bombs right now.
Plain, man. It's simple and plain. I'll give y'all even a deeper. I'll explore deeper into that same example. I've sold songs for $100. $100. You have the song. I still own my portion of it, but I don't control it. I sold it off to you for you to actually control where it lands and where it, what projects it ends up becoming a part of. So I could have easily been like, nah, I'm not doing that. Or I need however much I think is worth up front. Whereas y'all would have been like, all right, well, we don't want it. So anyway, the $100, this same track, this is 2011. This same track has generated at this point, and I'm not talking grand old bread, but it has generated over $2,500 from that $100 sale. So I gave up the right to move it around and shop it and do these other things, but you doing that for me based on the fee that I'm taking from you up front. But then was I going to make $2,500 at some point off of this? No, because I would have just been guessing. I would have just been like, I'm gonna hold on to this until some grand old situation comes about, which again,
the fact that you went out there,
I made this. I could do another one of these.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good night. How many producers y'all know got beats that sound just like the last one that they did? Come on. Lil Jon made a whole career out of it.
A whole career out of it. A successful career as well.
Make this one and get it off, and then I may have, I ain't even gonna say got screwed. I may have got shortchanged up front, but not really because I agreed to it. But then the money that it generated on the back end that I wasn't going to be privy to ended up coming. So
can't lose like that. It's called God's plan.
Your money don't make money, man.
At all.
Well, yeah.
Apply your quality minutes day to day, ladies and gentlemen. Every damn minute, make them count.
Make them count, man. Make them count. So one more time, Sean, man, give us, where we can, where our listeners can find you on Instagram or wherever.
Link in bio.
Yeah. Give us all that.
Yeah. Hit me up on all platforms. It's Prolyphic the Pro. That's PROLYPHIC the Pro. And the website is Next Exit Productions, NXTEXT Productions.com. And there again, this is the way that the website is structured. It's not like I'm selling CDs or downloads to the public. This is mainly a site that's for music supervisors and project managers who are putting together the soundtrack for a TV show or a video game or commercial or whatever. They can come to the site. They can listen to all the tracks that are there. It's sorted by mood, tempo, genre, all that. You can type in whatever keyword you're looking for. If you're looking for something that's dark, you come in there, you type in dark, hit search. It's going to bring up all the tracks that have dark attached to it, so you don't have to sift through all the nonsense. And then you download it. I'll get a request. We'll negotiate from there. Simple and plain.
Cool. And of course, livequalityminutes.com, where you could find this episode, livequalityminutes.com, where you could find our hoodies. We just released go ahead and show them our Malice in the Palace commemorative hoodie.
Boys on sale, what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we just dropped our Young 49, our young Kamala Harris hoodie. So go in there, go get yourself a hoodie, go get yourself a beanie, a mask, all that good stuff. Are you about to say something?
Christmas is around the corner. We got coffee mugs for your eggnog and other recreational purposes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
go get you a stocking stuffer for the family. We got hoodies for the children. Our hard work Hall of Fame children, you know what I'm saying? So tap in, man. LiveQualityMinutes.com. Yeah. Follow us on Quality Minutes LLC on Instagram, Quality Minutes Facebook, man. We love everybody, mama, just for having them, man.
We appreciate you.
Brother.
Hold on.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, before we go, man, hold on. Let me drop something for y'all. Hold up.
Oh, he over here on his DJ Clue bag.
Hold on, let's see if it plays.
DJ Envy over here.
Hit it. Drop the joint.
You know, there comes a period.
Oh, not the Machiavelli.
They used to be whispering at the beginning, you know.
Shout out to 90s R&B when they whispered at the beginning.
Right.
They got to talk to you real quick.
Shout out to Will, you know.
You don't get a man like me with a hoe.
Hey, but you know they got to talk shit about the man you got already. Like, you know he ain't doing you right.
You don't want to hold your head crossing the street.
Dirty Mac.
Dirty motherfucker. Your man is a dirty motherfucker. Hey, man. Quality Minutes Podcast.
Man. We
make sure y'all making every minute count out there, man. We love y'all, family.
Yeah.